tells us about the only Korban Pesach that was brought in the desert, and regarding the laws which pertain to it. There were two people who were contaminated by the dead, and they realized because of their state of contamination, they would not be permitted to participate in the Korban Pesach. And they came to Moshe Rabbeinu and to Aaron, and they said to them, Lomani Gora, why should we be excluded from doing the mitzvah of Pesach, although we're contaminated? So, as the script reads, it seems to be difficult. If chas v'sholom, a person would lose his left arm, and he's not able to put on tefillin, do you have a question why he's not able to put on tefillin? There's a concept, you're an onus. It's something which is not attributed to yourself. It's beyond your control. You're absolved, you're exempt from the mitzvah. The Torah says a person has to be in a state of purity when he brings the Korban Pesach. If you're contaminated, you're not qualified to bring the Korban Pesach. So what's the question? Why should we be excluded? Why should we be denied this mitzvah? So I always mention the Sefarno explains, how did they become contaminated? So it's a question. Either it had to do with, they were in contact with Arodo Shel Yosef, with the remains of Yosef, and they were instructed to carry it, or when Nadav Avihu was struck down in the sanctuary, so their remains had to be removed. Moshe instructed them to take out their remains because it was a desecration of the Mishkan, leaving the remains of a human being there. So the question was, we have a principle known as mitzvah gores mitzvah. So if we did a mitzvah by removing the remains or being in contact with the remains of Yosef, how is it possible doing mitzvah should deny us a mitzvah? Moshe Rabbeinu heard the question very well, and he went consulted with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and especially there's a mitzvah overis. There's a mitzvah, if you miss the time, you can't make it up. It's on this day, once the day passes, over zmanu botol korbono. So Moshe goes and consults with Hashem. Hashem says they're right. They will not be denied the mitzvah, because there is Pesach Sheni, there is a Makeup Pesach. A month later, they're able to bring it. But it's based there because they understood the value of what they had done. Even though they're contaminated, it is impossible to be denied something that was available to them. We say, Schar b'im alma leko. Mish tells us in Pirkei Avos, there's no reward in this world. No reward. And people, they're dedicated, and they have very many challenges in the material and other areas. They say, why? Why? If I'm doing the right thing, as there's an expression in the vernacular, no good deed goes unpunished. But it's something which is inappropriate to say it, chas v'sholom. Right? Who they ask? HaKadosh Baruch Hu chooses. Everything is a challenge, everything is a test. And who said initially when you did the mitzvah that you did it with such purity, and therefore you deserve positive, maybe because you didn't do it right, as you should have, or maybe right now there are other issues, you have other debts that you're paying, and that's why Hashem is denying you the result of whatever the mitzvah may be. Besides, schar b'ayam maleko, schar in this world is not meant to be. Do you want to be paid a pittance for something which has infinite value? Of course not. Therefore Hashem is holding it off to the world to come. There are many understandings of why not. But over here, because this was the ultimate Chil Hashem, and this was Mikrovei HaKodesh, who did they take out of the sanctuary? It was Nadav Avihu. They understood the purity of the mitzvah and the result of what they had done. There's no way that this could actually cause them to be denied a mitzvah. Therefore, they came to Moshe, and because Moshe appreciated that question, he consulted, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu says they are right, and there is that makeup.